Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel sikhuluma ama-reality TV shows, ama-celebrities kanye nama-YouTubers. If it is your first time joining me today and you really like the content over here, do not forget to press the subscribe button. Langezansi. So we are going to do Izingane Zesthembu, you guys, season 2, episode 2, but I'm going to separate this video into 2 parts. Okay, I want to talk about the siblings and the game that they were playing today, and I'm also going to talk about Usne spending time with her daughter, and then on a separate video I will talk about the meeting that was taking place between Vuyokazi's family and the Mseleko family, which was Umayeni, Nomseleko, and also Mpumelelo Novuyo were at the meeting. We're going to talk about that in a different video. So you guys, listen, it's a slumber party. Abongwe has planned a slumber party. They are still back in KZN at Park, you guys. I like the fact that they're shooting some of the scenes there because last season, or am I saying yesterday? Last season, the other siblings had visited Joburg, so most of the scenes were in Joburg, and then they went to Sun City, and then a few were back at home. So this season they are at home. So you guys, listen, let me say this. I do not like what the producers are doing with these siblings. I have to say, you guys, I love reality TV shows. I love drama in reality TV shows. And sometimes it's more enjoyable to see the drama when you know these people are not related. They don't really have to spend time together. They are just coming together to give you a good show. And after that, they can go spend time with their real families. They can go spend time with their real friends. I don't like it here because these are real siblings, and I know how hard it is to repair sibling relationships. Number one, it's hard to become friends with your siblings. It's hard to get along with your siblings. And they are in a very complicated relationship because they are siblings, but they have different mothers who have their own dynamics. So for them to be at a place where they get along with each other, because that's all that we've seen from these siblings, is that they get along, they love each other, they like each other. Us as the public, that's the impression that we have got from watching them. Okay, so I feel like they are setting them up to confront each other. They are setting them up to fight. And I feel like I'm not liking that, you guys. As much as I like drama on reality TV shows, I'm not liking it on this show. So very early on this episode, I was feeling like, now I see the direction that they are taking. It's becoming more planned, more scripted. But the scripting of this show is more about them fighting. This game that they were playing at the slumber party was just a setup for them to get into a fight. But it's almost like it's set up in such a way that everybody is going to end up getting into a fight with Usne. So not only is Usne carrying Uthando Zesthembu for 7 seasons now, she's going to be carrying Izingane Zesthembu. I don't like it, you guys. I'm not feeling good about it because I do feel like, yes, the show is about them making money. The more people watch it, the more money the producers are going to make. That includes Umseleko. I believe even in Mpumelelo is one of the producers. But I feel like if it is at a cost of them not getting along as siblings, is it worth the money? Okay. So Abonga has organized a slumber party at Park, and it's the older siblings that are there. Obviously, the siblings that are cast members. Listen, you guys, I would have loved for this party to have their friends outside of the family. I would have loved for them to say, bring your friends. Maybe Mpumelelo brings his friends, Ulwandle and Mpilo, maybe a few friends, and you know, Snare as well brings a few friends. It could be more than just siblings. But I mean, I guess, you know, I guess it's the same as when the wives on Uthando Zesthembu are taking a trip. It's usually just them. But for some reason with the slumber party, I was like, I wonder how it would be like if they just brought in some of their friends to be part of the slumber party. Okay. So uAbongwe said that kuyaqala ukuthi bahlangane for something like that. Okay, so as much as we see them spend a lot of time together, but them just as siblings don't do things like that. Okay, so Abonga has the place decorated very nicely, and she has these gifts like pajamas for them, And I think the ladies' pajamas were at she got the ladies' pajamas at a smaller sizes than the gents' pajamas. So they ended up exchanging. So Umpumelelo Nolwandle ended up having to wear the ladies' pajamas, which were like floral, but it brought some like a fun part of, you know, it brought fun into the party as well, you guys. By the way, I always feel like it's like t-shirts, you guys. Sometimes I go into the men's section for t-shirts because I always feel like, why do they get nicer stuff than we do in the shops? Okay, even their pajamas, sometimes I want to wear men's pajamas because I feel like they have nicer pajamas. I don't know, you guys. Some of our pajamas are like, they're not practical, okay? They want us to shibiliga under the blankets for some reason. And I mean, I want to be warm and comfortable when I'm sleeping. Anyway, you guys, so they're playing this game where they were throwing, I don't know what to call it, but they have cups and then you throw a ball, and then if you miss the cup, and then you have to drink this concussion. And I don't know, concussion. I know I'm saying this. It's concussion. Hey. Guys, but it's a mix of something. So you have to take a shot of something that doesn't taste very nice. I wondered, you guys, would see, is there alcohol in it or whatever? Are they trying to get the kids drunk so that they can act up? Okay. So they're asking questions. This is where I realized they are trying to make these kids fight. Okay. There was a question where it was asking who is spoiled between the siblings, and they said that the spoiled brat is Abongwe. And listen, you guys, it's just that on Zesthembu, we don't see a lot of we see a lot of Mpumelelo and Lwandle, and we don't see a lot of the other siblings. So I don't know. I couldn't say if I agree with the fact that Abongwe is the spoiled one out of the siblings or not, because we don't see a lot of her on Uthandole. So we see her, but not a lot. Okay, sometimes she's just around, but she doesn't say much. Okay, and then there was a question about who offended you. This is listen to this question. Okay, who offended you? Demand an apology from that person. You know, the way that the questions were structured, it definitely felt like they wanting to get these siblings to fight, because that question could have said, who has previously offended you? Would you like an apology from that person? Something like demand an apology from that person. I don't know, you guys. Definitely Abongwe, even though she was the one that was hosting, was the one that had organized the party, the slumber party. She definitely didn't write those questions. Those questions are somebody's directing, you know. And this episode did feel like it's overly produced, especially the part where they were playing the game. Okay. Then you guys, this is another one where I felt like, yeah, they're going the direction that I don't like on this show. Then there was a question it wasn't even a question, it was a statement, you know, that said, okay, I guess it was a question. What do you want Sneh to consider about you? It wasn't saying, what do you want the siblings to consider about you? It said, what do you want Sneh to consider about you? And I was like, you know, why direct it to Sneh? Why not make it more like general? Because whoever picks up that question can just direct it to any of the siblings. But it was more specific. It was a specific thing because Abonga was asking it. Abonga was the one that was supposed to answer it, but it's about Sneh. And I was like, you know, I don't know, you guys. So when that question was asked, you guys, Abongwe said that she would love Sneh to consider her feelings when it comes to things concerning LGBTQI plus community, because she feels like sometimes when they are watching TV and there's something about the alphabet community, Sneh would say things that are offensive. Okay, Sneh in the diary section does say that, listen, she is right, I do say those things, but I never think Uguti, they hurt her. So it's not like I say them to hurt her, and I never think ukuthi it's something that hurt her, okay? But that's what Abo said, you guys. And Umpumelelo for some reason said, I don't know if it's just a joke in the family that when they speak in English, they'll feel a need to say that they will interpret it for Usne. I'm trying not to look at everything that they say as them just looking down at Usne and disrespecting Usne, but it's very hard not to do that because a lot of the times you just feel like they take every opportunity that they can to direct anything to Sne, you know, and all of that. And maybe it's a joke for the family. She has become like, you know, sometimes going to a family member that just takes the beating for everybody, you know. And yeah, you guys. And then they talked about the favorite, who is their father's favorite. I thought everybody was going to say Mpumelelo, because that's what we've seen from the show, that Mpumelelo is the favorite. It looks like some siblings think that Abongwe is the favorite. Abongwe thinks that she is the favorite, and she thinks that Mpumelelo is next in terms of who is the favorite with her dad. I've always felt like Mpumelelo, guys, but it's also possible that we are not seeing enough of Abongwe's interaction for us to be able to say what is she the favorite or not, you guys. Then it was also the that's why I said this was overly produced and overly directed, because there are siblings that you didn't hear much from in terms of the questions. Like we didn't hear a lot from Mpilo, we didn't hear a lot from Ulwandle, but I felt like Usne was answering more questions than the other siblings. So yeah, you guys, it could be the edits. I don't know. So the other question was the fakest sibling. That question was directed at Usne, and Usne ended up saying that the fakest. I mean, obvious. That's what I'm saying, you guys. Obviously, if you write a question for those siblings to say who is the fakest, you know what's whoever is going to answer that question will likely say it's Mpilo. Even me not being a sibling, I would say it's Mpilo, okay? Because I feel like Mpilo on camera, she does act like she really likes Usne, but I feel like overall, all of them are irritated and annoyed by Usne, their older sister. So even that question, you guys, I feel like they're just trying to get them to confront each other. They're trying to get them to fight with each other. It really just bores me, you know, like I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm like, why are you trying to make them? It does. Listen, in reality show, you know, guys, it's planned. You know, the scenes are planned. This is what you're going to talk about. But even though we know that as the viewers, but we are not supposed to feel it, and it's not supposed to be so obvious. And in this scene, it was just so obvious that the whole the goal here is to get these siblings to confront each other and to fight with each other. And maybe for the rest of the season, that's what they'll be dealing with. Somebody's going to be demanding an apology from the other one. And I don't know, it feels like it's forced. Okay, just let the siblings sit down and have a slumber party and see if you can get something from the slumber party. It mustn't feel like you are forcing them to get to a point where they are fighting. So you guys, obviously Usne answers and says that it's Mpilo. Remember that Usne and Mpilo had been to a nail salon, or were they doing their nails or massages or whatever, pedicures, something. And Mpilo had asked Usne, and you know, with my family, there's a tendency, or there's this thing that mina ngiyasitshela in the family. And Usne had said, no, you know what, you okay. But in the diary session, Usne had said, yeah, is jail, you know. But she said, Kiana, no, listen, if I haven't said it to you, then it means that you are okay, you know. Now, when this question is asked, which is similar, because they will tell you they are saying she's fake. So here she says Mpilo is fake. It could be that Usne is taking the two things different, because Uyitshela and being fake, she might be thinking that time Mpilo asked Uyazitshela na, and this time they're asking her if she's fake. So this is what how Usne explains. She said Mpilo is fake because, let's say we are back at Umzumbe and I go down to the house where she lives with Umakumalo. If I get there and she's there, she will just take the headphones, put them on, and I'll be trying to talk to her, and you can feel also she's annoyed or whatever. She doesn't have time for me, and then I will end up leaving. Okay. So now my interpretation of that is that on camera, Below always asks that she has interest in Usne, and getting to know Usne and remember even last time at the trip she was like, I'm gonna go to Joburg and visit to Abo, don't you wanna come with me? Usne is saying it's not like that. It means, guys, Usne is saying the thing that Umayeni was saying. It's Konabantu who are acting on camera, I guess. Usne is saying Abo is one of those people. Abo in the diary session says that Usne had a chance to tell her that when they were at their when they were doing the pedicures, she didn't. That means that she really wanted to just embarrass her in front of everybody. Then it becomes the thing. Now, all of the siblings are saying Usne must explain what she means when she says that Abo, not Abo, Mpilo is fake. And Usne unecucu lenhliziyo encane athi ke ayi niyokuzwa ebhoshi ke lokho. Okay, those who are not Zulu, ebhoshi is in the toilet. But the toilet langaphandle, it's a pit toilet. I didn't understand the indlela adinong house day. It was like, okay, how did we move from us playing a game? And you said Mpilo, because when she said Mpilo, she didn't gossip about Mpilo. She said in front of everybody, it's a game we're playing, we're supposed to be honest. She was honest, and then the next thing she was just angry, throwing things, and she's leaving the room. Okay, so the edit there was a little bit off, because it was like you have to take us from one point. I'm an emotion. You can't take us from one point to and whatever, and then the next thing she's throwing things. How did it escalate from this to that? It was like they were not able to show us that it's okay from this now. It escalated in, because we just saw them say, explain, why do you say she's fake? And then she wouldn't explain, and then the next thing she's throwing things, she is out the door. I feel like they are desperately wanting Usne to appear unreasonable and loving and kind to her siblings, and everybody looking at Sne as a problem. I personally am not buying it, because I can see how they are planning it. We already know how Usne is like, you guys, and we already know how this Usne is viewed by the family, but I feel like they are using her yet again for this show. Okay, so I guess, you guys, listen, I'm hoping she's getting paid a little bit more than the others, maybe as much as Mpumelelo, because both of them seem like they are the ones that are going to be carrying the show. Okay, I hope they don't pay Usne little, because I can see it already that they are going to be using her and being a black sheep in this family a lot to push this show, you guys. Listen, obviously Mpilo doesn't think that she is fake, because she did not understand why Usne said that about her. Anyway, you guys, I loved seeing this. Was like my favorite part of this show. And let me say, I know Usne doesn't spend a lot of time with her kids, okay? Because we see her even on social media, you hardly ever see her, especially with Utando. You hardly ever see her with Utando, okay? So we sort of get the idea that she doesn't spend a lot of time with her kids. Even her father was saying, even with her money, she doesn't spend it on her kids. So we kind of know that. So I know that for her spending time with Utando, it was planned. It's them shooting the scene. But I like it because it's a thing that should happen. So I like that the show, just the same way that I don't like the fact that they're encouraging the siblings to confront each other in a way that will make them fight. I don't like that they're doing that. I like the show, and I understand that it's because they're doing a show that Usne was spending time with Utando. But I feel like it's a good thing that the show is pushing her to spend time with Utando. So they went out to shop, which was nice. You have to spend time with your mother, because there are times, you guys, when I ask myself, does Utando even remember actually Usne is the one that is her mother? Because the disconnect when we are watching Utando and Zesthembu, it's almost like Utandonji, it's there and Usne is there. You don't see a lot of interaction between Usne and Utando on the show. So I like seeing it there. They're going out, it's the girls out. Utando, you guys, I don't know if it's just she is at that stage, like early teenagehood, where, how old is Utando, by the way? Preteen, where she's having a hard time expressing herself in words. Sometimes you will feel like when they are like preteens, you would feel like they think they are communicating, but they are not communicating because they're not using words. It's almost like you have to read their mind sometimes. So I feel like she's at that state. So she doesn't say a lot. She doesn't say a lot of words in expressing herself. So Usna was talking about the virginity testing situation. Okay. Listen, you guys, that situation was weird on this table because I don't know, I don't understand. It's like taking my child to a gyna without telling me you're taking her to a gyna, and they're like, "Ha, I got the small to hotel la payana was showing on the all of a sudden, okay," and the child is underage. So I feel like for me, virginity testing is like that. You're taking somebody's child without even telling them that you're taking them for virginity testing. So